got Duane here with me.
What's happening?
Appreciate you coming on.
Appreciate the invitation.
Yeah. So what's been going on?
You know, living life.
Yeah.
You know, and with everything that's happening, just trying to keep the vibrations high.
Right.
You know, because it's like what I realized is when you move up, the law of duality and the law of, universal law, for everything that happens, there's going to be an equal and opposite reaction. So when you move up, something's going to try to pull you down.
Right.
So when you say what's happening, trying to be in that constant state of, raising my vibrations, and staying at that level.
Yeah. Gotta stay there with all going on right now. This coronavirus and everything. I know a lot of people are freaking out about it. People trapped in the house. The fear vibration is so high right now. Like all you see is fear. We were talking about that on the way up there. You said you can look at people. You said
you can feel the fear in their eyes.
Yeah. And people are scared to be next to each other. Like they're really scared. Like I was in a market. They got the arrows to go this way, to go that way. So I was coming up this way, but the arrow said go this way, and the lady one said you're supposed to be going that way. She pointed down. I'm like, my fault?
Yeah, see what I realized is with this whole coronavirus and everything and those arrows, it's about domination, control.
Right.
Telling people what to do so they can become complacent and submissive.
Right.
And to dive a little deeper into this coronavirus thing, it's like that fear state. So I don't know if you're familiar with biochemistry, but like electromagnetic fields, we all have one. Everything is vibration. So they're keeping us 6 feet away from each other. As human beings, we have a heart and we have a mind. They vibrate. They're all frequencies. So when we come into contact with other beings, we're not just seeing them. To really understand somebody, we have to feel them. So them keeping us 6 feet apart creates, a barrier of misunderstanding.
Right.
So it's going to tear, the social construct apart. Because nobody's going to be able to actually understand anybody on a deeper interpersonal level of feeling.
Right.
Because, like I said, to feel somebody, the vibration has to be within that, that range.
Right.
So it's just like with that and the masks covering your faces, you don't know what the person is feeling. You can't see their expression.
You can't see a person's expression. You don't know you don't even know who a person is. There's many times that I've been outside and I walk right past the person because I didn't know who they was. They had a mask on. I don't got my mask on, so when I'm walking outside, so you can see who I am. The person like, hey Matt, what's up? And I'm looking like, I'm fighting over you. You had a mask on. And then they put a mask on and started busting it up. But it's just a whole scheme. I'm not even gonna say scheme. It's a tactic to scare people, to spread fear. What they want to do is control us. Making us wear a mask is so dangerous. Walk around with these masks on. I just seen a mask that said it has lead within it. Lead. It's on there. An ingredient that is lead there. I shared on my Instagram. I shared one of the masks that says this does not protect you from COVID-19. Now, wearing these thin masks is not going to stop those molecules supposed to be in the air seeping through that mask and getting to you. I don't care if 2 people got a mask on. If one sneeze, it's going to go right through that mask, these little tiny molecules, and go right through your mask and get into you. So wearing these masks is doing absolutely nothing. So it's pointless for us to walk around with these masks on all the time. It's just a means, a way to control the masses. Like you can look through any biology book, your chemistry book, and you will see molecules. And you can see them being broken down. And you can see how they spread. So you would know that wearing a mask does absolutely nothing. All it does is restricting your oxygen level, making it hard for you to breathe, making it hard for you to think straight. Because you don't got good oxygen level, you can't think straight. You're not thinking straight, you're making dumb decisions. You see, there's a food shortage all around the world right now. And it's not even because people are going around just scared and they buying up everything. It's a money shortage. Why is there a money shortage? If it was a coronavirus scare, they didn't want to touch the money. So everybody using plastic cards. So what happened to the money?
You see, I believe it all goes, into that bigger scheme of things, because I think, to be honest with you, I think the economy wasn't doing so well at all. And being that, they can create a pandemic where they stop people from going out, they close everything down, and then they send out stimulus checks because of the so-called virus. So it's like, I believe it's an undercover scheme to, boost the economy because the economy's not doing so well. So I think there's multiple factors and multiple, components that are in play, with this whole virus in terms of bringing in maybe, as some would like to call, the New World Order.
Yeah, that's definitely what it's about, bringing in the New World Order, the One World Order. And sometimes I want to say Trump is just another puppet, but sometimes I feel like Trump is clueless and he don't know what's going on. And they're really just doing this stuff all around Trump. But I can't be the naive to think that Trump gotta know somewhat of what's going on. But I see he did validate or give notice to the lady that came out and said she had a cure for the coronavirus. And he retweeted it.
Okay.
Yeah, I forget what she said, but African lady, she said she had a cure for the coronavirus though.
That's interesting.
Yeah, he retweeted it though. So he did give knowledge to that though. I don't know if it was just another scheme just for him to get votes from the black community, or was he serious about that though? But sometimes I feel like though, Trump, I'm not saying I support him, but one thing I like about Trump is that he's real. He speaks how he feels. You don't never gotta worry about what he's saying behind closed doors. Whatever Trump says, that's what Trump says. You gotta respect that. Like, what type of person is not gonna respect a person that's straight forward of how he feels? He does lie, he does say some stuff, then he get caught about it. Oh, I ain't say that. You know you said it, bro. You caught on camera saying it, bro. And that's what most people do. We human. We're not perfect, man. Sometimes we get caught up lying. We do stuff here and there. But for the most part, we try to keep 100. And that's what Trump does for the most part. He says how he feels. He don't even think about it. You ask him a question, he just say it. But
I agree with that. And it's just like, speaking on that Trump idea about him being in cahoots, I personally think, being that, he's already a person of stature, he comes from money, it's hard to control somebody who already has money.
Right.
So when I look at him and the position that he's in and where he's come from, I believe he's actually going against what the higher ups actually want.
Yeah.
Being that, he can't be controlled, and he does speak his mind, and he doesn't care.
Right.
And he has money, so what more can they give him that he doesn't have?
Right. They thought they could control him. They didn't know how he was going to come in all this acting.
That's the truth.
Yeah. But the one thing I do appreciate is that he's tried to spread that information about the African doctor who said she had the cure for the coronavirus stuff. But they was trying to do it. They took that video down.
Really?
Yeah. And another thing they're doing now is you can't really mention 5G and the coronavirus in the same video. They can't really do stuff like that.
Wow, I never knew that.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, cause it's crazy because a lot of stuff they demonetize and they'll take down. Just a video earlier I was posting just on the Avatar. I was just posting the video about the Avatar, and I was saying some inspiring words about her. And on Instagram they said I can't post this. I don't got the right to post this. Because it said something about Korra. I'm like, Avatar, I don't got the right to post this. People post cartoon videos all the time. I can't post this. It's ridiculous. What they're trying to do is they're trying to shut you up. Anything you try to put out there to wake people up, or that got any what truth in it, they're gonna try to take it down, or try to say you can't put it up, or they're gonna try to make sure it don't get out there.
That is the truth. That's what I realized, in this day and age, it's so important to, speak your mind. Because we all have a piece of that puzzle, and when we come together, everything becomes clear. And especially with this whole coronavirus thing going on, it's keeping people apart and everything, it's like people could be coming together, with a solidified understanding of, hey, what can we do, as a community, to make our own way, God forbid, if there's no more food in the stores, if there's no more this,
Right.
But they're stopping that by keeping, the social distancing in place and everything else. What I realize is, people have to come to an awareness of, stop being spoon-fed information and really, understand what they're being given.
Right.
whether it's a state of what vibration it's being given in. Is it being given in a state of fear or a state of love?
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Then when you understand, how the information's coming in, you can choose whether or not you want to accept that information. It's
Right.
just like if it's in a fear state of mind, more than likely it's not real. You see what I'm saying? Because from what I realized is like everything that is true, comes from love. So if the media, is true and real, they'd be telling you how to protect yourself against the virus instead of, trying to control you in relation to, I'll keep this many feet away from people, only 25, people per gathering, so many rules and regulations, not really, showing any sort of passion or understanding.
And being in a state of fear, that's the worst state to be in. Because you make the most horrible choices when you're scared. People will kill out of fear. They'll steal out of fear. You'll condemn somebody out of fear. Like, going back to when they used to have the witch hunts and stuff, so many innocent women used to get killed because they thought they were witches.
Really?
Like, it was crazy. Like, they used to kill so many women back in the day. I don't know.
Like the Salem witch trials and stuff like that you're talking about? Okay, yeah, I'm familiar with that, yeah.
For no reason, it's because you thought this person was witch, you're going to kill them. And 9 times out of 10, these women, even if they was witches, they were doing stuff like giving out herbs and stuff like that, like healing the community. And you out there, you burn them to the stake, they're hanging them and all that. A lot of times, a lot of women wasn't even witches. You just crucifying women that's not even witches, just because they live by themselves. They're dealing with nature, and they're one with nature, in tune. They're dealing with types of herbs, medicine. You just crucifying out of fear.
Yeah, and that brings me back to that a good point. That fear state, leads to unwanted actions. And I would take the example of Jesus Christ. When the lady who sinned, he said, let the one who has not sinned cast the first stone. Not one of them threw a stone at the lady. It's because we're all imperfect.
Right.
And you see, it's that fear state, that just keeps you in that like aggression. Like,
makes you angry. Lash out at the world, stuff like that. Instead of just, you gotta take a deep breath and you gotta view every situation with a clear mind, not with a fearful mind, with a clear mind. I mean, some people say without fear you'll be reckless, because the front of the lobe of your brain don't develop until you turn 25. So you turn 25. So that's why you see a lot of kids, they run around with no fear. That's been crazy. It's not the goodest thing in the world to live without fear, but it's not the best thing in the world to have fear. Because fear will stop you from reaching your higher self or reaching your destiny in life. It might be a position that you're supposed to take that you won't take out of fear. What if I do wrong? Or what if I mess up? What if I fail? You could have had an opportunity where you could have started your own business, but you were scared to leave your job. So out of fear, instead of starting your own business, going out to the world and working for yourself, you chose to stay a slave and work for somebody else because you were scared to reach out, to take your destiny in your hand. So having fear is one of our biggest flaws. We walk around with so much fear. Because out of fear is racism. Because people, you walk down the street and you'll see a group of kids, or you might see one person, and you might judge this person. You might project on this person because of what the media said to you or what you heard other people say to you. You might project a certain idea on this person, and you'll see this person all of a sudden getting scared just thinking about what other people say, what the media say. So you see this person coming down the street, so you projecting that this person is going to do this, and we're going to try this too. So you might try something. So what if you scratch? What if you like to carry? You see this person coming down the street and you get scared. So you don't know this person from can and think. You never saw this person before. Well, you project it, now you're scared. So now your license to carry, so now you reach. You pull out on this person. This person ain't doing nothing to you. It's wonder why you reaching. So this person start acting funny because you reaching for your gun. So a pretty person gonna act funny. So now you pull out, you shoot this man in self-defense. Out of your own fear, you shot and killed the man in self-defense because you were scared.
Yeah. And it's just, it shows, if there was love and compassion there, it would have been a different outcome.
Yeah.
You see, you'd have been more mindful. more aware, you know, and it's just
You would walk down the street and say hi, both of y'all would have spoke, I would have kept moving.
exactly. See, it's just it's the awareness, you know. Fear is choice. Danger is very much real, but fear is a choice.
Fear is a choice. Yeah.
See,
You got to be aware of danger. And being aware of dangers and being in the fear mindset is two different things. Totally two different things.
that's absolutely true. I like to, you know, always refer back to Jesus, and you know, even look how he acted at the very end of his life when, you know, he was being persecuted and killed. You know, at the torture stake, you know, he's wearing the crown of thorns on his head, carrying his own stake up, and it's just like, you know, even when he was about to die, what did he ask? He said, "Forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do." So even when he was in all that pain, he chose to be within love and compassion instead of fear and telling these people, "Oh, F you, F this, you're gonna die for doing this." No, you know, he was within that state of love and compassion. And what I realized is, within that state, you know, of love and compassion, you know, there's no judgment. And, you know, when there's no judgment, you free yourself from any pain that anybody can bring to you on this earth, because you understand where you're coming from, and you understand your intentions.
Right.
Regardless if this other person is wishing you harm, you understand you want to give them peace.
Right.
And it literally boils down to that in this day and age of, you know, understanding that within ourselves.
You gotta understand yourself. You gotta understand a certain aspect of life within yourself. That's why you need to go within.
There's no within, baby.
That's like, that's one of the greatest journeys you can have in life. Going within. Like a lot of people turn to substance, escape reality, or just to certain situations, and really all you really need is to go within. You know, the same feeling you feel when you get high, you need that same feeling.
That's the truth. And like what I realized is, you know, at a certain point of, you know, taking so many substances and escaping reality, you now find yourself in another reality. And within that reality, now you want to escape that reality, so
Right.
you got to come full circle back to the reality you were already in.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, in reality, it's, you know, a simple awareness of choice. And don't get me wrong, I believe substances can, you know, help alleviate fear. You know, like some like mushrooms. You know, can help with anxiety. I feel, you know, certain substances. But it's you know, using those substances you know, within like a
Moderation.
in a controlled manner, and not necessarily, you know, using it to escape reality, but to understand.
Yeah, like back in the Egyptian days, they had something where they used to blow and smoke. Basically, they would get high. They had plants where they would smoke. All different type of races do. The Chinese community did it before they would meditate and stuff. They would like little skinny thing they would have back in like the Ming Dynasty and all that.
Okay.
Yeah. To me, it was weed. It seemed like it would make them in a high state.
It was I think I know what you're talking about. It's tobacco. It's the I forget the exact name, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So the Chinese used to the Indians inhale whatever they used to inhale when they were going their little journey.
Mm-hmm.
When they would see they go smoke on a fire, whatever stuff they used to do. Indians used to do it. And back in the Egyptian days, the pharaohs and stuff, they used to, matter of fact, after they would come back from the right journey, the Indians, I can't even go into it because I forget what exactly they used to do. But I know they used to inhale something.
What did this inhalation do for them?
Oh, it would give them visions.
Visions.
Yeah.
Okay. And these visions, like, what ultimately did they do with the visions?
But take them, bring them back to their tribe.
Okay, and they shared like their information and knowledge.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. And that's what I'm talking about, like, you know, using certain substances, like in moderation.
Yeah.
You know, because Albert Einstein said, you know, you can't solve a problem at the same level of awareness that created it. So I look at that as, you know, okay, I'm gonna change my awareness real quick so I can solve this problem.
Right.
You know, and then you bring that, you know, that solution back when you're in that regular, walking state of consciousness.
Yeah, and that's what they found had because the government, when they tried to introduce the communities, the black communities with all types of LSDs and stuff, they thought it would bring them down, but what they seen it did was it sharpened the mind. So while they was on these types of drugs, they always hit the crazy out there. They were focusing more. So people don't understand. A lot of musicians, when they came up with all these hits they had, it was under the influence.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying, but it's the how much you use it. You don't need to use it all day long to escape reality. It's not what you need to do. If you're using it to escape reality, don't do it. Like you said, you're gonna always want to escape that reality. So one day you're gonna be too high and you're seeing all this crazy stuff. You're gonna want to leave that reality. So what you gonna do then?
Gotta come full circle, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, with the substances, it changes reality. And what I realized is, how do I explain this without sounding crazy? Like, at a certain point of awareness, being high is no different, literally, than the waking world. Walking sober. Because I realized when you change your awareness to the opposite extreme, like, I've never done LSD or anything like that, but like, say for example, LSD.
I used to pop Zany, I used to drink syrup.
Okay.
Pop Perks.
So you're familiar with
Yeah,
that?
I used to get high, like, and I was trying to escape reality. Like,
Okay.
I didn't know at the time, but that's what I was trying to do. I was actually trying to escape reality.
Did you? All right, my question is now. Let me dive a little deeper into this then, because based on what you just told me, a lot of the substances were downers.
Yeah.
Have you ever dove into any of the upper substances?
Zany. No, actually that was down too. No, I never did that.
Like Adderall or like 5-Ants or anything of that nature? No?
I did all the down.
Okay. See, when I had an epiphany today, bro. As I was driving over here, I had an epiphany. I don't know if I want to share it, but I'll share it. When you get to a certain level of feeling, and for me, I don't touch downers. At the beginning, maybe I drank alcohol at 18, 19, for 3 years after high school. Got into a deep depression. Questioned my life, what I was doing with it, escaped that shit, and then smoke weed occasionally. I like my sativas, because sativa's a little more upper than the indicas, but it's not necessarily down. What I realized though is with the uppers, bro, you begin to feel so much. You see, the downers numb pain. The downers take away feeling. Alcohol, Xannies, take away the anxiety, take away pain.
Yeah, exactly.
What I realized with the uppers is I began to feel more. Instead of just feeling what I feel, I can feel what you feel, literally. I can feel, maybe that might sound crazy, but I can feel thoughts. At a certain level of higher awareness, thoughts turn into feelings. And when you feel that anxiety come into your body, and you're already familiar with your vibration, you know that somebody is sending negative energy your way, or somebody is having a negative thought about you.
Right.
And you see, what I realized is in a fasted state as well, when you have limited food, your actual physical body becomes light. So it's healing itself, but it's also more receptive to vibrations now.
That's exactly why I actually love working out, going jogging on empty stomach. I like working out before I normally eat after I work out or jog. I feel like I can go longer, go further. I feel like when I eat, when there's food in my stomach, I feel like something weighing me down. Like, I only can run like 1 or 2 miles when I'm food in my stomach. Without food, I can run like 4 or 5 miles.
Okay. And it's for that simple fact, the food is a material substance, I believe, and this is just my belief, I don't believe we're humans, I believe we're light beings.
Right.
Being that food's a material substance, you put that in your light body, you're going to be weighed down, especially if your vibration's already at a certain point. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's why, vegetarianism and veganism, tend to raise your vibration and make your light body lighter because you know you're not taking in that karmic energy of stress that the animals go through anymore.
Right.
So you know once your physical body becomes light, you know you're susceptible to a lot more outside vibrations. You see, and with a higher awareness, you can feel those outside vibrations at an instant. You can feel thoughts. You can feel intentions. You may not want to feel them. What I realized is when you stay true to yourself, and when you stay to, you know, who you are, you know, those outside forces, they can't touch you. But like I said, there's a trade-off. When you go up in vibration, those outside forces can kind of attack you more. And I had this epiphany today. I know a couple of people, I don't judge, you know, they mess with like heavy downers, things of that nature, like often. And you know, to be honest with you, my father, he's on opiates because of his back surgery. You know, he's surprised.
That's how I got into it. I had surgery. So the doctor introduced me. So the first time I did it, I didn't mean to cut you off, but the doctor gave it to me for my surgery plan. And that's how I started taking perks and stuff like that. And then I actually got my friends onto it because I was getting all these type of pills and stuff. So I would come around my friends and I would bring my pill bottle, ask them if they wanted some. So I was actually kind of a bad influence on some of the people that I grew up with because I actually got them doing perks. So,
but at the end of the day, you know, your intention wasn't to be malicious. You know, your intention was to maybe let them feel good.
Yeah, I was sharing my, I was sharing what I was doing. So I wasn't just trying to be a bad friend. I thought I was a good friend. In the long run, I was a bad friend.
I mean, at the end of the day, like when you want to share an experience with somebody, if it hurts them, I guess it's bad, you know?
It don't matter if your intention was good. If you did more wrong, you did good.
It's bad, yeah. I can
A lot of people got good intentions, they do bad things.
That's the truth.
Yeah, like we were talking about earlier, Magneto. Magneto thought he was doing so much good for the mutants. But in the long run, he was putting them farther back than what they was already doing. They was just out there just being able to live amongst the humans. But when Magneto comes trying to take over and you start a war with humans, they're hunting the mutants down. So now all the mutants got to go back and hide. Even though the mutants was getting picked on and it was getting treated fairly, it was still to be out in the world, yearning to be hunted, trying to kill and capture.
That's the truth.
What's his name? Thanos thought about wiping out half the world. He thought he had a good cause. He thought the world was overpopulated and the world was evil, was going to war with each other. He thought his cause was just by him wiping out half of resistance. The wipe out half of resistance, he thought that was a good cause. Like that's crazy, but he thought he was doing something good. And if you want to be talking to something that's not nonfiction, Hitler thought he was doing a good thing. It's so many people that was doing the wrong thing for all the wrong reasons, but thought they were doing it for good reasons. In their eyes, from their perspective, they were doing a good thing. But their outcome, the stuff they did had more wrong outcomes than good outcomes.
That's true. That's a perfect example of, you know, good intentions leading to bad endings. You know what I'm saying? And today, like, you know, that's what I realized, you know, when you raise your vibration to a certain level, you know, mindfulness begins to fade away. You see, everything becomes feeling. And it's like, you can have good intentions, but the reality is you have to feel, you know, that peace and that truth within yourself. Not even think about the intention, but feel what you're about to do, and feel whether it's just or unjust.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And that feeling, you know, takes away from, I feel, any thought of whether the intention is good or bad, because the heart's vibration is stronger than the mind. So if you allow yourself to be led by the heart instead of your mind, you never go wrong.
Right. So it's like duality. In reality, there ain't no really good or bad choice. It's really good for you in that moment.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, selfish as it sounds, humans are selfish. You see? And it's like, I realize we have to, raise our awareness to be less selfish, and once our awareness is raised, now we have to align that awareness within our hearts. And it's like, once you do that, you come full circle, and your heart automatically kind of directs your mind from it.
Right.
But it's like, you got to do both things separate and then come together with it. It's a process.
It is. You gotta do. It's sometimes it almost seems impossible, but it's not though. It's actually not impossible. It's something that's easily doable, but it's almost seems impossible. But like you're saying, humans are very selfish. Because you can see the selfishness in humans. Like you can look on a planet and see how many animals on this thing, and how many love is on this thing. Like so much animals that used to exist back then don't exist now. Us as human beings, we hunted them out to extinction. And that's crazy. We hunt so much that we're making unique species go extinct on this planet. And it probably was thousands, hundreds of thousands of these species that is going extinct.
Different animals, yeah.
And there's so many different things that's going extinct. Oh, it makes you wonder, like, with the racist thing, like, you don't like me because I'm just skin complexion, or I don't like you because you're that skin complexion. That's stupid. Like, why would a person's skin complexion matter to how you treat them? That doesn't make sense. Like, you're supposed to go up with energy.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. But you see, we live in a visual world, and when your psyche can be manipulated based on what you see. How can you trust it? Like, I don't know if you know, but even like based on fast food and what we eat triggers our hunger. McDonald's, Wendy's, Taco Bell, like all the fast food, they use red and yellow because those colors trigger your appetite.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
So you see, there's a psychological manipulation that's happening, in the waking world that a lot of people aren't aware of. And when you become aware of that, shit just becomes even fucking.
Is that why my stomach was hungry just looking at this yellow caution tape right now?
Yeah, yellow triggers hunger.
That's crazy. That's crazy. I thought it was because I knew we was gonna do the video and work out pretty late.